Carp Academy, in association with Daiwa.
Okay, it's early doors at the Carp Academy. The lads have just got fishing, and young Macaulay here has just kicked off with a lovely 15-pounder. He's a bit of a match angler on the quiet from up north, and he's fishing it in fine style, good active spodding. You've got both rigs out there nice and tidy, haven't you? Yeah. And there's fish showing, so hopefully he's going to get a few more.
This is Bruce's second fish. We've been struggling for a bit. Bruce changed his bait to maize and he had a bite straight away. So we're going to see what he's doing, get the bait back out there, and hopefully he'll catch some more.
The common mistake in carp fishing is not matching your hook bait to your feed. So today, I've been feeding the 8mm halibut pellets, and the mistake really is to fish a 15mm boilie over the top. So a quick alternative to that, there are lots and lots of little plastic pellets, little plastic boilies on the market now that will match not only colour but also the size of the pellet that you're feeding, and as a result the fish will pick it up a lot easier because they think that it's the same as what's going into the swim. Another little tip is to take, say, like a bigger hook bait and just trim it down with maybe a thumbnail or a pair of scissors, just forming it into the shape of the pellets themselves. So even if you're going to use something slightly different colour, you can still make something that's a similar shape to the pellet.
There we go, no sooner did we put Macaulay's fish back than Jack's had this one. It's blowing a hooligan straight into the swim. Well done, mate. What'd you get that on?
I had that on a bit of pop-up artificial corn.
Okay, plastic corn doing the goods for both lads there. Jack's been spodding fast and furious, and while you were spodding you had the bite, didn't you?
Yep.
So good work, mate. Let's get it back out there and we'll see if we can get some more.
One of the most important aspects of Carp Academy, and something that every angler should put into their fishing, is feeling the lead down. And that basically means as the lead's dropping through the water on a tight line, it will hit the bottom and it will register on the rod tip what it's actually landing on. If it goes thump, it means you've got a nice clean hard bottom, and that's a good place to present a rig. So Albie's going to basically get this one out there. If you open up the reel, mate, and get that out onto the clip.
Okay.
The rod is basically clipped up at the right distance, so it's going to land on top of his baited area. Out it goes, rod up. That's hit the clip, lovely, right, and then wait for it to hit the bottom. Feel it down?
Yeah,
feel the lead at the bottom? Yeah, so basically what it means, the rig has been stretched out straight because it's hit the clip, everything's gone tight. He's felt the lead hit the bottom, so we know everything's perfect. And we take the line out of the clip and we're going to put the back lead on. This little fella is a back lead, serves two purposes. First of all, it keeps the line down on the bottom of the lake bed, so when the fish are swimming around the baited area, they don't come into contact with it. And also when you're playing a fish, it keeps that line nice and low on the other rod, so you don't pick it up. So basically we're going to clip that on now. So if you put the rod behind you, mate, just like we've been doing, that's it, keep going, keep going, keep going, and then pick up the line there, that's it. And then basically the back lead just clips on like so, and then if we push it down into that little rubber, there's no way that can get off the line when we're playing a fish, and then we just slide that out into the lake like so. Just let that down gently, and if you pick the slack up now, that's it, good lad, keep going, keep going, keep going, and then very, very carefully just tighten the line up and just slide that back lead a little bit further out. This is the thing a lot of people do wrong. they put too much tension on the line and they can drag the rig out of position, and that hook can turn into the bottom of the lake bed and render the rig useless. So we can just see the line just picking up in the water there, so we're definitely not moving the lead. That's nice, mate. The back lead's now in line with where you've cast. Just let that sink down to the bottom. Cool. And then set the rod on that left hand side. That's it. Just keep it nice and slack when it goes down. That's it. Loosen up the clutch and then get that. Let's turn that off. Is that off now?
No, that's still on.
Oh, is it? Right, okay. And the roller at the top of the rod, just underneath the rod, so you get best bite indication. And then if you just watch the line and just tighten up ever so slightly with the clutch as you're watching the line, so just tighten that up gently, gently as it goes. Keep going. Keep going. Actually, your lines tangle around the tip of the rod, so if we take that off, just where it's so slack when you put it down, we'll just give it a couple of twists and that will undo it. There we go. Yeah?
Yep.
And back on. And then just keep twisting it until that line picks up nice and tight there. Keep going. Keep going. That's it. By doing it like this, there's no way you're going to move the lead. You couldn't move the lead just by turning that bit. Keep going. A bit more. And fill in the lines. Just that's it. Right. Okay. And then if we clip that bobbin on, the weight of the bobbin should just tighten the line up. You see that's fallen down fairly slack, so we can get away with tightening up a little bit more. Probably just a little bit of a bow in the line. Now that's just tight enough there. Clip the bobbin on. There you go. That's just hanging perfect now. Turn the buzzer back on. And that's it, we're fishing. That's the worst thing you can do when you cast out. Put the rod back on the rest, the line's still too tight, you drag the rig along the bottom and render the whole thing useless, and then you're not going to catch anything. So just take a lot of care when you're putting the rod down, and you should get runs almost straight away.
Now, a piece of advice that I give all young kids when they're fishing is when you come to lakes like this and it goes quiet, just like it has for Adam, get a zig on. So you only have to have one look at the lake there and you'll see the amount of carp traffic on the top. So what is a zig? Basically, it's a suspended bait that comes up from your lead system. On the hook end, I've got a little bit of plastic foam there. It's just a little spongy bit. You don't need any real bait, just a bit of foam, something visual is perfect. It's tied knotless knot to a size 10 mixer hook there, and it's on a nice bit of thin monofilament, okay? You don't need something big and bulky, something light. 8 to 10 pound is ideal, okay? And there, it's about 3 foot in length. He's fishing around 5 foot of water, so that's at 3 foot. That's right up in the upper layers of the depth. And then coming down to the lead system, it's just a simple lead clip, set up Danny Fairbrass style. It's a little quick link with a link loop for quick release. So a perfect, simple system. And what Adam's going to do is get that out there and hopefully snare himself a zig carp. Well, I'm getting impatient. We've given it 5 minutes, and on zigs, especially on Thorpe Lea, it should be a little bit quicker than that. So I've got a little plan that I know is going to catch Adam his first carp at Thorpe Lea, and it's called Spotting Over Zigs. Well, Adam's been putting the spot in over the top of that zig rig, so it went a little bit slow. We've put the zigs out and he's been working the swim, and that's the key point on these types of lakes where there's a big stock of fish. Work the swim, make it happen like a matchman, and you get those fish competing. They're almost like piranhas snapping at the bait, and your zig's right in the middle of them, and Mr. Lea is into a fish. So exciting times at Thorpe Lea. Well, there we go, a stunning Thorpe Lea carp taking on the zigs. Now, what do you think of the zig rigs?
Yeah, wicked.
Do you think you'll be using them a lot in your own fishing?
100%, yeah, definitely.
Now, he's changed it, he's worked the swim, and he's had a result. Now, if you've been sold on the concept of spotting over zigs, then you're probably going to want to know a little bit about the bait that you use for putting over it. Now, Adam was actually fortunate enough to catch it spotting the bait that he's been using fishing on the bottom. Here you've got some chops, some hemp, some general party mix, and that's in there. But the basis of that is all about getting to the bottom quickly, okay? When you're actually spotting over zigs, you want to make a cloudy mix that's going to work for you in the upper layers of water. Now, to create that, I've just taken some of the bits they've had lying around the swim, okay? Not specific stuff for spod soup, but it's been easy enough to do. What I've done is I've ground up some pellets in a crusher, put them into the bottom of the tub. I've then put in some like nutty ground bait over the top, put that in, and then some like a fishy protein ground bait as well, added that. I've also put in a tin of tuna, mixed that all in until it's got like a sort of damp consistency to it from the oils in the tuna, and then finally I've taken a few pots of water and just added that until I've got this type of effect. Look at that, it's gloopy, and you can add some more water if you want to make it soupy. Now, the next important part is the spod you use for the job, because generally these guys are using one of these. It's got holes in it, it's like a Sky Raider type thing. So you go in, that's for taking, you know, solid particles that aren't going to sort of fall out of the sides. Now, if I put that into this spod soup, especially it's wetter, once that water's in there, it's going to start coming out of the edges of the spod, okay? And also, it can't hold that water to give the spod the weight it needs to get out there. So, look at this one. It's got no holes in it. It's perfect for the job, for this type of thing. Goes in there. Look at that, and it adds weight. It can hold water, so it's ideal for spotting over zigs. That's what you need to do.
Carp Academy, in association with Daiwa.